Hello, I'm Lindstrøm and I'm in my studio with FutureMusic. I haven't been really using Logic for a long time, so this is one of the first tracks I started on after switching to Logic, and I guess I just wanted to try to see or try to use as much Logic instruments as possible. So I just kind of made this track while I was exploring Logic, I guess. It's been a while since I actually did this, but yeah, well, it is ultra beat. Yeah, most of the drums seems to be ultra beat. Some EXS24. So yeah, I always play them on keyboard. So it's like I think on this track usually I have like the 4/4 kick on one channel and I use another one in between to. I'm not sure if that's the right way to do it, but I just always end up doing that, I guess. Usually I start with something like something like this. Like it. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if it's. I guess usually I just put in like a standard loop just to have something like a metronome to work with, and I try to find something like some decent ideas for a song, and that's more. And then I work on the drums after I decided what kind of elements I'm using for the song. So, and recently I've been doing a lot of like kind of melodic synth stuff, I guess. So I guess I was doing this with a kick drum on it and a beat, and then I recorded it, and I just took the bass and moved it to like the poly bass, and moved it to and copied the MIDI to a bass with a bass sound.
And what VSTs are they?
These are just presets stuff. I wanted to. Once in a while I get a little real synthesizers, vintage, keep it real stuff. So I just wanted to find out if it's possible to make a decent track with presets. And so this is basically a preset track with so this one, yeah, I think, yeah, this is also EXS. Oh, it's a sound which is called TB from Pure Magnetics or something. I bought like lots of stuff. I think it's called Pure Magnetics.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like a TB303 basic saw thing. and I've been doing like a lot of like using the same MIDI and move to different sounds and kind of see what happens if I just move the whole MIDI thing, like the poly thing or something, into to another sound, like a pad or whatever, and. And the thing with Logic, I really like the fact that it's really easy to find sounds. You just you have the library browser, and you can just like work really quick. When I'm making music, it's really important to have everything. Like if I get an idea, I have to make sure everything is working. If I work with analog stuff that doesn't really work when I turn it on, I just need to leave it because I will lose my idea if I have to like find out why there's no sound or try to find the right sound and stuff like that. So I guess I'm working like that mostly to get like a good workflow, and sometimes I'm replacing some of the sounds in Logic with sounds from elsewhere. I use the MIDI and record like this one or other synths, or even just play stuff from just to get a different sound, I guess, and to have like hands-on. Well, it's really easy, I guess. I'm just rolling off bass frequencies on a lot of the stuff. Yeah, I'm not doing any of that stuff because I got people who's doing it for me. And yeah, I don't know. I believe it's a good thing to have another set of ears to listen to or to finalize the sound of the track. The guy who mixed it, he was using some like spring reverb from this one or his own, and like some outboard compressors and stuff. And I believe that also gives. I really like the fact that everything is kind of from the box, but only by using some spring reverb will give it a very different feel, or little different feel at least. So basically, what the guy who mixes my music, is doing is just to use. To work on not on the levels and like doing creative stuff, but more or less make sure that everything sounds good before mastering. So I guess I don't know. I guess technically I'm doing my own mix, but I just get some help on getting the balance right and stuff like that, and getting the frequencies right. I don't think my ears are made for listening to nuances that is, I don't know. I tend to focus on songwriting and stuff instead of, and I just realized that I'm not able to do everything myself anymore. So this is one of the tracks from my recent album. This is the Juno 60, I think. That's just a recording of yeah, the Juno thing, and I just made a audio file and used it. And on this track, I'm using on the album that this track is part of. I used a lot of like weird kind of like phasers, and I wanted to have like the sound bouncing everywhere. So I was just kind of misusing all kinds of modulation effects. And yeah, usually I just use like the basic Logic stuff. I don't really remember what I did, but I'm just like trying out stuff and all kinds of I don't know, effects and stuff, and see what sounds good. And if it sounds good, I just leave it like that. And it seems that I've been using this stuff. Basic isn't. I think that's also Logic.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
to Logic, yeah.
And yeah, this one, I think that's a mixer guy's been using that one. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, some wind. More arpeggios. On this track, it's kind of like a lot of stuff at once, so it sounds really massive and yeah, like fifth chords. Flutes. Yeah, on this one I use sidechain the bass, and I guess I just use the basic Logic compressor to get it like that pumping kind of sound. Yeah, and it's also two kicks together. I don't know. I guess I thought it sounded better.
Well, those kicks from Ultra Beat as well.
Yeah, and one of the kicks is a sample kick from Claudia Barry, a 70s disco girl, and I also got the complete thing. Like the Abbey Road drums, which I think sounds really good. I used it a lot on this track and also on the whole album, really. And I just played it like this. I never play with the pads. I only use like this. All I want is a quick. Place to live. And this is also what I did a lot on the album where this is from. I used my own vocals, but I wanted it to be very different from my natural voice, so I just used a lot of vocal transformers. I want this quiet place to live. A quiet place to live. So this is more or less my...
Quiet place to live.
All I want is quiet place to
Yeah, that's a vocal transformer thing.
live. All I want is quiet place to live.
Thing is, I really wanted to sing on on the last album, but I don't really like my voice as it is, and I don't really see the point in using like a really good microphone that is special for my voice. Or I think there's a lot of like snobbery when it comes to like equipment and stuff, and I tend to work against that sometimes, trying to use just like SM57 for vocals, or just like trying to do something different than what everybody else does. So I was just like, before I started on the tracks, I was just like recording a lot of vocals, which like a lot of it was really crap. Most of it, like I guess everything, but I decided that after doing a lot of remixes over the years, I found that even a track with a really bad vocal can be a really good track if you kind of work on the vocals so they kind of sound good in the remix. So sometimes like I get a good track to remix, and then my remix is not as interesting as the original track. But if I get a bad track, the remix gets much better than the original mix, and sometimes that's the remixes I'm most proud of, the songs that like not any good. So I decided to kind of work with my vocals as I do with when I do a remix, just trying to distance myself from the vocal, from my voice, and trying to make it sound like somebody else. So I just kind of, I don't know. When I worked on it, I didn't feel that it was my vocal. I just felt that this is just a weird voice that I'm trying to sound as good as possible.
It's a quiet place to live. It's a quiet place to live. Quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live.
And also, like, I mean, sometimes it can be nice with doing like a reverse reverb, just the wet signal, and put it in so the fade gets before the main vocal.
All I want is a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. All I want quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live.
But I've done something with the vocals here that I use TC Helicon Voice Live 2, which is more or less like a vocoder, but whatever I play on the keyboard via MIDI, I don't know how to say it, like, it's just like a vocoder, but without the robot sound. It's just like my own sound. So I use that on some like choir. No, it's not here. Well, it sounds a little bit monitor or Mickey Mouse, but
all I want is a quiet place to live. It's a quiet place to live.
It's a quiet place
It's
to
a
live.
quiet place to live.
So this is basically like I was just playing everything using all the MIDI tracks from the chorus and just putting it on a MIDI channel and routing connecting it to the voice live and singing the harmony thing, and after it goes through the voice live it sounds like a 3. So it's kind of weird chords, but it sounds really clean because it's auto-tuned and everything is like in perfect pitch.
It's a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live.
Oh, it's something that's too high here.
It's a quiet place to live.
It's a quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. A quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. A quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. A quiet place to live. All I want is a quiet place to live. A quiet place to live. All I want is.
It's kind of fun to work with vocals like that. I think it's to get some unexpected results and to make it sound different from just using a regular mic and doing it like the traditional way. Yeah, with this one, it's mixed in Logic. The guy who mixed it uses Logic as well, so he just got a copy. I think he just got my hard drive, and then he just we just did it in his studio, so I didn't really need to. I don't think I bounced everything down to separate files. I just and he was like. He was using, he was replacing a lot of my, or some of my plugin choices with some better ones that sounded better in his ears.
Can you remember?
Yeah, I can. Well. No, actually, I think maybe he was, well, like he's using some other. I think this is Waves, isn't it? Yeah. I never use this plugin, so he preferred the API before the Logic, like this one, I guess. When I started using Logic, I didn't know really how to do it, and I was just experimenting and trying out stuff. And I realized that if you keep a limiter on when working, it sounds more massive, I guess, because of limiting everything. And sometimes I find it better to work with something that is like affecting the whole master instead of just having like everything clean and stuff. But usually I remove it. But I think the guy who mixed this song, he just wanted to keep some of that. I don't know how much it is, but
Place to live, a quiet place to live. It's a quiet place to live, a quiet place to live.
I don't think it's probably not even on. I'm not. The thing is, I don't really know how to use Logic, and I don't really. Nobody really taught me how to do it right, so I just kind of do it my own way, and that's how I do everything, I guess, from songwriting to combinations of instruments and also when it comes to sounds and stuff. So I guess I do things very wrong a lot of the times, but I think I'm really happy that I don't really know how to do it like the proper way, because I think there's so much music that sounds so much the same these days. Like everything you hear on the radio, you can really hear it. It's like using the same equipment to make it sound as good as possible. So, and the result is that a lot of the stuff sounds the same, and I think it can be interesting to have somebody who does it the wrong way. So I guess a lot of the stuff I do here is just, I mean, also in the way I make songs and the way I make music, especially on this my recent album, a lot of the stuff is just like trying out stuff and see what happens. I want to do something different on this track as well, and I did that a lot on the Six Cups of Rebel album. This is one of the tracks from that album, and I just needed to have some different ways of trying to make the music or trying to actually write the music. So I had this idea of getting a lot of MIDI files from the web, like from all kinds of sources, like everything from I don't know, Stevie Wonder to Human League, and like everything that was like also like classical stuff. Yeah, all kinds of stuff, and then I just loaded it in, and I just took the MIDI from whatever I can find on the net, and I just used the MIDI on different sounds that it was supposed to be on, and also using like keyboard playing on with like a drum kit in Logic or whatever, or like a drum kit on a polysynth. So like on this one you can hear like the drums there, it's like really like that kind of stuff. I don't really know where it is from. And I also reversed the MIDI to make it sound different from the source. And I used like whole passages of I really wanted to be like crazy and weird and stuff. Like in between songs, I wanted to have some kind of weird intros and stuff. And I really like the sound of. I think when I started with music, I had this Roland D10 synthesizer with this kind of the sequencer from Alesis, and I was only using like the multi-timbral MIDI sounds, and it kind of brings me back to when I started with music. But I was just like doing everything backwards and turning everything up and down. And also with this one, I was using like the same like MIDI files and using different sounds to get different kind of layers and yeah. Different guitar sounds and yeah. And also like all kinds of ways to make the vocals sound different from
when you need me, call me anytime. When you need me, call me anytime. When you need me, call me. Get hold back, get hold back, get hold back. When
And actually, this part is more or less lifted from Here Comes the Sun, MIDI Here Comes the Sun. Yeah, and I also do a lot of that kind of. It's really cheesy and simple, I guess, but like. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it's really. I mean, it's just like looping a section and just drag it, but it gives. Sometimes it gives the sound a bit more like computerized feeling and. Sometimes that just sounds good. Like on this track, I was just like playing everything. Like. You know, like just like jamming by jamming with myself with finger drums. Yeah. And this is also like. Yeah, I think usually when I'm making music, I'm just like adding a lot of stuff, and so usually it doesn't take too long to get the ideas, but it's after I've decided that okay, this is going to be a track, I have to decide what comes first and what comes in all, like to make the arrangements and stuff like that. So then I need to. That's the main part of the work, just to decide. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm like guitar. I'm always, I guess on almost all the tracks, I'm trying to fit in some kind of guitar. Sometimes that kind of like MIDI guitar. I mean, even sometimes I just, with the Logic, if you use a synth sound, it comes with inserts with different kind of, like this flanger thing. I didn't even probably put this on myself. I just loaded in a guitar sound instead of probably a synth sound, and then it sounds different from like the dry. And I just added like. And other times it sounds better with a real guitar. So I don't know. It just like depends on what works and what feels right for the music.